Hey, what's going on, currency lovers? It's been a little bit of a hiatus with the bill searching videos. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. If you enjoy searching currency or collecting currency and coins, currency of all types. Without further ado, let's get to some good old-fashioned bill searching, looking through pocket change, see if we can find some things worth more than face value. So I am in my busy season of landscaping and carpentry, so it's a little bit harder to do the videos daily. So now we're doing them like every blue moon. But anyway, let's get right to some searching. Sorry about the delays in between videos, but hopefully over the next week or two I'll be able to get some stuff done, make more videos for you. Anyhow, so we'll start off with a Series 2013 $5 note. So quasi newer note. I mean, changes with the fives, as you know from watching any videos or if you collect money or anything like that, paper currency. On Federal Reserve notes, they changed them up early 2000s to incorporate some better, more increased anti-counterfeiting measures, as well as do some graphic enhancements and stuff of the nature. On this guy, I don't see anything in the serial number. The print's kind of beat up. It's been folded up. These are all pocket change, so of course they're not going to be perfect. They're all circulated. Those are my favorites to look through. Nice and beat up. Nothing really on the back. Sometimes you'll get some issues with the print down here, right around the steps and stuff like that, but nothing seems to be popping out on this guy. 2013 $20 note. 2013s are going to be probably the most common of any Federal Reserve note that we come across. Nevertheless, there is a mixture of other series dates, of course, whenever you go through any pocket change. But those are going to be the most common, along with 2017. Nothing in that serial number on this. Things to look for on $20 notes, well, post early 2000s when they changed up the $20 notes, is things around here where they do the color changing ink for, well, graphics, but anti-counterfeiting. Sometimes you'll see some issues there, just due to the printing process. I don't see anything on the front of the note, but on the back of the note, got a little bit of discoloration, but that looks like just damage to the bill. We have a little bit of stray inking going on here, probably from the second print of the bill, but nothing collectible. Nice $50 note. I don't normally have these just because I'm broke, but that and 50s, I don't know. I just don't get them in change very often. This is from a bank, from payment from a customer. Looks like we got ourselves a little bit of something here. Probably a counter stamp, albeit totally in a weird location. Kind of coming off of Grant's beard there. You can see all the different variations in the lines and inking of the newer $50 bills, how they've kind of changed things up a little bit. Nothing on the front there as far as serial number is concerned. I do love the graphics on the $50 bill with the U.S. Capitol building spanning almost the entirety of the back of the bill. It's even got enough graphics, graphic quality rather, where even the small little flags here are quite clear to see, which I like. So I think it's a really beautiful looking note. But nothing on the back there. And 2013 $1 bill. Now we're looking for fancy serial numbers, as you know. Fancies would be your patterns in the serial numbers or star notes, things of the like. However, this is not one, but just something to look for. No differences since 1956 or 7 with $1 bills, other than on the reverse, which I'll show you now, where they added in God We Trust across United States banknotes. Now, one thing to talk about with dollar bills is like I said, there's not much variation to them. There are different versions of dollar bills as far as red seal notes, silver certificates, different series annotations, stuff like that, as well as a couple specialty runs of $1 bills that we'll talk about in some other videos. Got a nice, actually a little kind of like a date note, double date note here. 1839 in the year 989. I know that's kind of a reach, so it's not something I'm going to call super collectible. I do see other channels kind of like set aside a lot of stuff, and nothing against them. Hey, if it's collectible to you, then it's collectible to you. But for those that ask me quite often, oh, well, what's the value of that? For instance, this right here, this double date note, which is kind of made up, but you know, it would be collectible more so if you had like the bicentennial date, and if it was like 1776 and 1976, that would be really cool. Or an actual date, you know, 4th of July, 1776, a person's birthday, whatever. That would be more collectible than, say, something that just had two dates on it, because, I mean, that's going to be tons of them throughout the series. But I do see other channels where they're keeping bills that are like 2 zeros in the front and calling that a low or high serial number. That is not correct. Nothing against them. Collect it if you want to collect it, but I just don't want people to have a misconceived notion that, oh, that's cool. Backplate 1. You know, I just don't want people to think that everything is freaking more valuable than the face value of the bill. So, another one. Anyway, I digress. 2013 Series $1 note. Nothing in the serial numbers so far, so we're not really coming across anything massively collectible as far as serial number is concerned. I haven't seen anything with crazy misprinting or anything out of whack, so it's a bust so far on this search. Would have been nice. This is just folded over, but it'd be nice if it was a fold over error. Of course, if it was a fold over error, we would have a corner like this, which probably would never happen, but a corner like this, and you'd still have the paper here that would be blank white still in the corner where the actual so the ink did not get laid down, or well, many facets can cause that. 2009 series $5 note, so one of the earlier series post the redesign. I'll stop moving the bill around. Nothing in the serial number, a little bit of repetitious nines, but nothing to collect or call home about. Let's look at the back of the bill. Kind of beat up, as you can see, really folded up. Nothing really crazy coming up on this bill on the back side here. Once again, you can see some changes in, or issues with print around where the constellation of Orion, which is a counterfeiting thing, is put up here. On this one, I did get a question the other day on Facebook, which was, hey, what's the value of this bill? I can see the serial number onto the backside. Well, as you can see here, that is quite common. Now, if it was pressed all the way through, then I would say the serial number would enhance, put a premium over the face value of $5. However, this is very common, especially after a note ages a little bit. You'll be able to see the seals, the serial number, things of that like. Same with this other denomination here is a counterfeiting thing, which is a watermarked 5 that you can see when held to the light. Things like that are not going to be, well, they could be collectible. They're not going to be valuable over the $5 face value of this note. 2013, somebody was writing on it, so they had $50, I guess. Nothing in the serial number. New York, New York is the B here. A little bit of shifted over to the left. The serial numbers and the seals are printed differently than the remainder of the bill on most dollar bills. Not all, but most. Bills in general go through a multi-printing process. However, there are series that go through kind of a continuous printing, I guess, if you want to label it that. So they go through a phase-by-phase printing process. It's 3 phases to produce the banknotes that we know today. However, like I said, there are versions that have been different. Let's look at the back of the bill. Nothing crazy there. It's sitting appropriately. Sometimes you get some issues around the lettering down here and around Novus Ordo Seclorum below the unfinished pyramid there of the Great Seal. 2009 series $1 bill, really beat up, definitely towards the end of its life. So if there was something funky with printing going on here somewhere, it'd be very hard to tell just due to the condition of the bill. Back of the bill, Nothing crazy here. Cool plate number. I don't see anything to hold on to there. What else we got? We got... Oh, nice, 95. So, it's actually sitting a little bit high. One thing to look out for when you come across 1995 series $1 bills is they could, well, one, they could be a mule. What's a mule? It has a micro and macro plate number on the front or back of the bill. It's basically a mule note is when they're most commonly formed when the BEP utilizes old back plates for $1 bills. So, for instance, in series 1995, you can see mules. There's other series as well. I'll talk about that in a separate video. But essentially, they reuse backs to the $1 bills to just kind of wear them out or whatever. So you'll have a bill that has one face, and then the back would be from actually a different series of bills, creating a mule. Now, another thing to look for as well is, for instance, on 1995, there's only 3 series of $1 bills that can be known as what's called a web note. So what's a web note, you ask? Excellent question. A web note is essentially a bill that was part of a series run that was utilizing a different form of printing the bills, which was kind of a continuous print known as a web series bill, instead of utilizing what we have for modern day $1 bills and really bills in general, which is a 32 subject sheet that goes through a multi-printing process to produce the bill. So in 1988A, 1993, and 1995 series $1 bills, you could have what's known as a web note, which would be produced from that process. The way that you would easily tell if it's a web note would be the plate number, in this case 417, would be up here. So that's one really surefire way to determine if you have a web note from that series of notes. So 1988A, 1993, and 1995 would be your web notes. Mule notes you can also tell because the plate number and the backs can be a little different. This is not a mule note. That'd be nice. But nevertheless, still cool and something to look out for. A little bit older $1 bill. We don't normally come across those. Next, 2013 $5 note. So very similar. Well, by similar, I mean exactly the same as the other ones we've seen in this video. Nothing on the front here. It's printed really nicely. Color's really nice. So nothing really to call home about there. Let's look at the back of the bill, and we're getting down there on bills, so I appreciate you sticking with me through this 10-plus minute video. I'll have lots of new news videos, as well as some stuff on things like that, web notes, mule notes, things of that nature coming out soon. Very clean $10 note. Nothing really jumping out. This is actually a good example of the $10 note, just to see all the different little nuances of it. Positioning's a lot different on the plate annotations, stuff like that. The bill just looks different than other denominations. It's also it's dyed with a different color, obviously, with the yellow tint to it. Nothing there. And last but not least, another $10 note. So not a ladder. Ladder would have been nice if we had any sort of order, or even, well, if we had ascending or descending order of the numbers in the serial number. Very clean, though, these $10 bills. I mean, probably in the nicer. I always have ones that are, like, balled up and all screwed up. A little bit of damage down here, which actually could, yeah. First, I thought it might be a little bit of an ink smear. It is, in fact, not. It just looks like it got wet, maybe, or it was just a transfer from when at the bank and being counted out by someone. So nothing really crazy in this bill search, but what did we find? Let's look at the two things. So small find would be a double date note. Like I said, it's more collectible than valuable, so I'm still going to hold on to it. It's just a doll hair, so it is what it is. More importantly, we got some good information about what to look for on $1 notes from 1988A, 1993, and 1995 series to look for mules and web notes. But let me know what you've come across in your bill searching lately. Like I said, I've been on a hiatus due to the good old landscaping game and it being beautiful outside to get new flowers and trees put into a bunch of beautiful people's yards at their beautiful homes. Let me know how wonderful your week is going. And if you found that $1,000,000 bill, take me out for pancakes. I will see you in the next video. Keep up the hunting for valuable currency, and I will see you in the comments. Peace out.